Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
Hi everyone, Sue here at 1A Auto, and today we're going to do an oil change on our 2015 Jeep Wrangler with a 3.6 liter. If you need any parts for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. I accessed the oil filter cover by taking that body cover off. It's just the shield that says 3.6 or V6 Jeep on it. And there is your oil filter housing. It's a plastic housing. It's a cartridge style filter. So I'm going to take a 24mm socket with an extension, and I'm going to turn that cover off. Let's see how much oil. It's pretty much self-drains, so a lot of the oil stays down below. It's kind of a nice design because it's not so messy. So there's your oil filter cartridge. And the new cartridge will come with an O-ring for the cover, and you just pull it out. There you go. So it seats down in there. I like to clean this cover, so clean it with parts cleaner or brake cleaner, and then it'll be nice and ready to go. Put the new O-ring on after you clean it. I'll just spray on the inside. That way I can let this drain and dry while I'm doing the oil change itself. So the drain plug is a 13mm wrench or socket. I'll just loosen it up. Let me just line my pan up. Here comes the oil. At this time I like to, while it's draining, I examine the drain plug and I make sure threads are great shape. They're not cross-threaded. Last person did an oil change, didn't rank on it. The gasket is still good. It's not even over torqued or anything. So I don't need to replace it. I'm just going to clean it up and set it right there for myself. I personally like to let the oil drain. I'm not in a hurry. So I want it to drain. Sometimes it takes 10-15 minutes till it just drips. It's the whole point of an oil change, right? Just to get all the oil out. At that time, I'll take a look around and look for any grease fittings on the drive shaft, ball joint, tie rod ends, and this is four-wheel drive, so we do have U-joints in the front axle. So I will spin those to see if they're grease fittings on them or if they're self-greasing. Probably still a dealer, which will have no grease fitting on them. Everything's still original, sealed. I do have a diff in the front. You can check that fluid too if you have any leaks. All right, so now I'm going to check the drive shaft to see if there's any grease fittings on that. None. In the rear is a centrifugal force style. There's no U-joints. So we're good to let it drain. Now we have the oil is drained at a minimal. That's like the maximum I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to reinstall the drain plug. Always hand tight first. Just going to snug it, then I'm going to get my torque wrench because there's a torque on this. The manufacturer's torque spec for this is 20 foot-pounds. That's a 13mm socket. There you go, it's tight. Clean it up with some parts clean. Then we're going to lower it and put the oil filter in and add oil. So here's our new oil filter gasket. Comes with a new seal, like I said it would, and the cartridge. So I'm going to take the old seal off. I just use a pocket screwdriver. You can use anything that works without damaging the actual cover. And I've already cleaned this several times, but oil is this mystery. It likes to stay. There we go. So I'm gonna, you don't see that, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna clean the surface again. I'm gonna apply the new gasket, install the new gasket. It goes right on that deep ridge. So you have your threads and then that deep ridge. Then I take the cartridge, I'm gonna install it. You'll feel it click down there, in that little pop. And then I will open up some of my fresh oil and just put a dab of my finger around that gasket. I like to use the clean oil. And that just keeps it from getting caught and ripping. So now we're ready to install. Now check your covers out because it should tell you the torque specs. This one says 25 Newton meters. So hopefully you have a torque wrench and they want you to bottom it out and tighten it to 25 Newton meters. So now I'll line it up. I'll just give it a little quick wiggle while it sits itself in there. Make sure I don't cross thread it. Hand tighten it down. And get my torque wrench. So with my 24 millimeter socket, my torque wrench is set at 25 Newton meters. There you go. So the oil fill is on the driver's side valve cover. You'll see the cover, that's the oil filler cap. It says engine oil and it tells you the weight, 5W20. It takes 6 quarts of oil. So I'll pour my oil in. So now I put my 6 quarts of oil in. I'm going to put my cover back on. If it will let me. And I'm going to start my engine up, run it for about a minute, make sure the engine oil gauge goes all the way up or the light goes out. Shut her off and let it sit about 10 minutes and then I'm going to check my oil level. So you can see this vehicle has an oil light. So I'm going to start it, make sure the light goes out. Didn't even come on. Shut it off. Let it sit for 2 minutes and we'll check the oil level. So I'm going to check the oil now, and the oil dipstick is located over here on the passenger side valve cover. It's the one that it's marked engine oil. So I wipe the stick clean first. And I'm looking for the oil to be in the X's. Not up here, but right in the X's. Let's see. It's right at the top of the X by the looks of it. So we are all set.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1AAuto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.